Right, the Wittertron 2000 is up and running. So, what is our current position? Our current position is we are slightly losing money because we're building all the stuff. On the plus side, our tax take is going up quite a lot on account of the fact that we now have approximately 1 squillion vassal realms. 17. We have 17 vassal kingdoms. While in many other ways we are a bit of a fool, we are, however, extremely diplomatic, which I think just means we sit there looking statesmanlike and we don't say anything.
No, I think diplomacy is more than just that.
But I think you can get an awful long way with that.
Yes, I mean, I suspect your diplomacy does involve quite a lot of getting other people to do things in the right way or something. I don't know. I think, yes.
I'm going to hold a grand tournament because this will cheer up my vassals and give some time for people to leave the defensive pact. Actually, let's just, before we start...
The Holy Roman Empire currently in said defensive pact?
Well, I should have a treatise with them at the moment. Right, so people not in the defensive pact are Norway, the papacy, that random bit of Spain that I think I have an alliance with, the Almoravid revolt, which mysteriously, the Byzantine revolt, which I don't have a case against, and Bosnia. Vladimir, and there's a Vladimirian revolt, which is a lot more substantial, but is also probably a pain. So, Norway, you say?
When you say Norway, there's also a Norwegian revolt going on. No, 2 Norwegian revolts.
Whatever.
Which may be interesting.
It's fine. I think I have a plan. Hang on, let's just check some stuff. So, I am King of Norway, King of England. I have 2 little baronies to give away, so we can. Right. Let's
First, you already have a change.
I think I do, but I want to check if I can get the entire kingdom.
Do you have a case where I can get the whole kingdom?
No, I've got a de jure claim on Pharaoh. Right. So anyway, right. Norway. Damn it. Let's try and actually click on the thing we wanted to click on. Claimants to Norway. Let's try and find a claimant. So we've got a weak claim to Norway, but
a weak claim may be enough because he's
currently in the middle of a revolt.
2 revolts.
I do have the problem, of course, that there is a small problem that the casus belli may disappear. Let's invite my kinsman, who's a commander of Norway, to court. Technically, I probably don't have to
land him because he's a Normandy.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, assuming there's a weak claim, that does turn out to be enough. But like 2 revolts, surely one of them must be for the.
Ooh, I can click a Duchy of Kurdistan, but surely someone else out there can do that.
There'll be a king who can do that because that area is almost all part of. Actually,
Armenia.
Yes, even if as long as it's all part of the same sub-realm, which it probably is. It's probably part of the Duchy of Armenia. So it's likely that the Duke of Armenia may or may not actually want to create that duchy because they may have a Gavelkind problem if they create it.
It's possible. Lots of people are leaving the defensive pact.
Thus, you might want to create it and grant it to them so that they have a Gavelkind problem. As in, that will ensure that on the next inheritance there are 2 small vassals there rather than 1 big one.
Right. I'm going to create the Duchy of Kurdistan. Let's just check. Right, I have 1 duchy.
And then you probably want to find the person who is currently Duke of Armenia and grant that duchy to them so that they don't get pissed off with you about you having that duchy.
It's true.
You could check that they're pissed off about it, but I bet they are.
It's off in the way.
Someone will be.
Yeah, so, right, you are Duke of Armenia.
So, are they currently annoyed about you holding that duchy?
Yes. Right, let's cheer you up
You
a
can give that
bit.
to them, which will cheer them up, and also conveniently mean, I think, if they're stuck with Gavelkind, which probably as a distant vassal of the English Empire they may well be, that they will.
I end up with 2.
It'll get split between their sons, and therefore you'll have 2 separate dukes there, which is probably what you want.
So you're still.
I mean, then eventually you can create a vassal kingdom and pick the nicest of the dukes and make them viceroy.
It's true.
Quite a long way down the line. Has your Norwegian claimant arrived yet?
Yes, my Norwegian claimant has arrived. I'm just briefly seeing if there's any other wars I want to get into while I've got the chance. Mostly discovering that I don't actually have any very good claims right now. You're part of the defensive pact. Right, fine. Let's sit back to Normandy. Right, let's declare war on. Huh. He's not showing up.
Right, okay, so that looks like maybe the revolts aren't actually claims on the kingdom. I mean, you could work out check what the wars are if you mouse over his 2 wars. Right, that's a civil war to lower crown authority, and that's an independence war. Yes, neither of which is strictly a war for the Kingdom of Norway, and therefore the kingdom is not currently contested in war.
Well, we've got a claimant kicking around. We haven't landed him because he's one of ours.
It's not a serious problem. So I would be inclined to. So was that the only claimant that had is willing to join your court?
Yeah.
Right. It may be though that those are not quite correct in that you can probably improve opinion by further than it thinks, but on the other hand, because for instance you can send alcohol gifts to encourage people to improve people's opinion of you. But on the other hand, we get very few with the horizontal wavering hand. That's an awful lot of strong claims. Alright, it's most of the innards of Lithuania plus Lithuania.
And a weak claim on Sweden.
Is Lithuania interesting at the moment? Right, so Lithuania is not in the defensive pact yet.
Lithuania's not in the defensive pact.
Right, well.
Yes.
I mean, that guy has such a wonderful list of claims.
He does, doesn't he?
I mean, maybe there are better people, but
I doubt it. I mean,
and most of them are inside Lithuania, I expect.
Yes.
So
Let's
they're not
invite
static,
him
but-
to court. Right. Good lord. Right. You lack a guardian. Who are you? You're my random kinsman, but you're a genius. Right. Let's betroth you. Can we find you another genius? Right, you look promising. I don't know.
Is he the heir to
So, probably yes.
hang on, he's got a sibling. Who's that sibling? That sibling looks
Older, yeah.
So,
So I could just train him up as a pointy stick guy, because then he'll be a useful potential commander. Right, let's pick you. think that's pretty fine.
I'm slightly going, what's he doing in your hall?
I don't know.
Wouldn't he be in, like, his mother's hall?
What if I know?
Oh, she's designated Regent of England. Maybe she's thus
Hanging.
in your court.
Mm.
And therefore has brought her son with her. So he'll probably end up being a commander for Carthaginiensis rather
Yeah.
than for...
But, you know.
Something like that, yes. You can't get all the syllables in either.
No one can.
Probably, yes. Otherwise I'll just clog it with something. A plod.
Right. So, I'm waiting for them to turn up. Currently, I've got one place in Ireland that's not part of the defensive pact. Let's lose 10 prestige and accept. Right. Hello, Mr. Strongclaim on the Kingdom of Lithuania. Excuse me. Hello, Mr. Baron of Berkhamsted. Sorry, Lord Baron of Berkhamsted.
Okay, your defensive pact appears to have temporarily evaporated.
Yes, isn't that nice?
Are the other other bits of Ireland not currently capable then?
So, my plan is to... So, Lithuania is going to be relatively tough.
Yes.
Because although there's only notionally 4,000 people, and also I haven't checked their allies. Yes?
Turkey. Stout.
Oh,
Stoats, yes.
Kind of
bumpkin-like,
bumpkin-like, I suppose. But not very good definition. It still works.
okay. Only non-aggression pact. But that's at least like 10,000 troops, really.
Yeah, but still, you've got like 50,000. You can take the whole of Ireland on at the same time, I think.
Probably.
I mean, I don't expect that there will actually be available claims on all of the bits, but...
No. I'm going to declare war on you.
For the duchy for your landed vassal, one of you've got 2 landed vassals available.
The Duke of Poitou or the Count of Poitiers.
Hello, sneeze.
Or the general principle of splitting things up, I'd go for the count.
Yep.
So, who else is there? There's that one.
It's meant to be a right click.
So he does. So that's an unlanded female friend, what it looks like, which is unhelpful, and he has an alliance with King Felicia.
Yeah.
So yes, she's unlanded.
she's
so
unlanded.
I think that's not available. That one is currently
She's
in
part of the defensive pact. Not part of the defensive pact.
And Duchess of the Isles or
Duke of Orkney.
Orkney.
I think Duchess of the Isles is
Yeah, I think that's
closer.
quite convenient.
Hang on, let's also just check that he doesn't have any good pacts. Yep, he doesn't have any good pacts. Downside of Lithuania is it's quite big. On the plus side, I'm sure there's some bits that are nearby me, so, you know.
Also, it's mostly tribal. You'd mostly be walking in there and sneezing at their villages.
That's true. Right, he's a baron, he's my vassal.
And that's the kingdom you're claiming.
Mhm.
The duchy.
Yep.
That looks like a nice big area outlined in blue.
Right, let's zoom out a bit. Right, actually let's zoom in a bit. Right. And let's turn on my sub-realms view so I can find out, like, where I've got some stuff. So... well, that's not really very worthwhile, is it? Okay, let's march you guys together, and I think that should be big enough to take on all of Ireland.
Quite possibly. And Wales is always a nuisance because it doesn't have any continental holdings.
That's the one.
Not that this matters, because you're going so far east, you're probably doing it by ship anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly. Goodness, presumably getting big.
We've got 2 counties. And I think if I land people here and then walk in this way. Tedious fleet raising stage. Oh. So that's 5,000, 6,000, 10,000. Oh, that's probably not quite enough. That's got me 14,000, which is probably a reasonable number. And I've got the option of raising some more in England, like my personal levies, for example, should I decide that I actually want to do something with that. Okay. So let's go. Someone's left the defensive pact against me. That is moderately astonishing. I wouldn't leave the defensive pact against me. one glorious whole. Let's put together a team. No, let's put James the Doge of Cumbria in there. Beowulf in the hope that one day he will get an attribute, god damn it. And you, Exarch of Franconia. Right. Let's wait until something else arrives somewhere else so that they can recover a little bit of morale. Not that they need to do a lot. Right, you are in the Baltic. Excellent. You are going to go ashore here. And what I am going to do is put together a reasonably kick-ass team here. How's my morale doing? We're not that morale-y, but let's wander off over there and see if we can make people feel a bit different. Right, you've arrived there. Get on those ships. Get going to that sea area. Right. You lot. Lithuania, here we come. Right, you guys. So you need to come ashore there. Thank you are holding in Leinster is under siege. Yes, right there. Make sure he is right in gate. And someone's joined the defensive pact. Well, now that's surprising. Off you go over there. And off you go over there. So, it's 12:51. While busily we are hitting the shitty out of each other in a totally traditional fashion. I would also like to point out that, culturally exciting things are happening. We are right in the midst of the flowering of the kind of age of chivalry in literature. Arthurmania is alive, well, and living in England.
Indeed, I think currently the capital of Cornwall in the game is eating cattle.
Oh, isn't that nice? There's Zambia, there's Zambia. Are we suffering attrition? No, we're just unhappy. But I think there's only the tiniest of armies around. We go straight in and make Lithuania miserable again. Right, okay, so I think we should go and kick them first and then settle in for a little siege, so I don't have too much war score to recoup. Right, let's send you in there as well. Well, I did briefly see an army of like 2,000 flit past.
Oh yes, there are some odd rules about how supply limits or attrition work in tribal realms.
Well, I better get besieging things quickly then, hadn't I?
I think you may find that the attrition is more vicious than you expect.
Right. Well.
would look it up if I weren't in the middle of doing the army.
Yes, well, I will just have to go and...
But given we only have about a 50% success rate in
understand
predicting what the world's going to do, you'll probably do better by just experiencing it.
Yes, I should just go and, like, kick some people and see what happens. Yes. And we're busy, writing tales about Tristram and Isolde. We've been reading the Lay of Marie de France for about a century, if I recall correctly. And I might not recall correctly. This is exactly the kind of thing that I was absolutely not ever very good at remembering Viz dates. But the Lay of Marie de France are quite entertaining, if you like that kind of thing. Right, let's glue you guys together. Glue. So you're sitting there being a Lithuanian army. I've got an organiser in charge. I like the idea of going and kicking you. Go to the neighbouring county. Let's find some of you
States.
and send you home, because I don't need that many
Come on.
ships. Yes, you did Turkey.
Head's torment is nuts, hell, and definition is in this, essentially, nutshell.
Oh! Ooh, we've finished constructing a vineyard for the Dove Memorial Garden. Excellent.
Hang on. You were already able to send alcohol gifts. Because you sent some before it finished being constructed.
Yes.
I think your tavern in the lighthouse may actually have this property, even though it isn't advertised as having it. Maybe. Or maybe something else has that property. The interesting question is, will this now allow you to send 2 per year? But I rather fear it might not. I think it may be implemented as a flag attached to you personally, so that you can still only send 1 per year.
Even though I've got, like, lots of stuff. Right. I think you are large enough to send them to that nice bit of Lithuania over there. Right, okay. Where? What? Okay, we're having a fight. That's good. Probably. So, we're on plains, no particular defensive advantage or disadvantage. On the other hand, it turns out that my lot have been doing this for ages and are quite good at it by now. Okay, so we have 30% war score because we've besieged Riga. Let's dismiss some of my spare fleets, because I don't need this many. Right, you're now besieging there. Brilliant. We can dismiss you. Right, yeah, that's fine. You're in the holding place. And we can dismiss you. And the other fleets I'm keeping around partly so I can see what's going on, in case Lithuania decide to get to the coast. And people join the defensive pact against me. Oh, how shocking. Right. Right, so we're 17% war score. Right, we have 14% on that battle. Brilliant. What are you guys doing there?
I'm 11 down.
What's 11 down?
Romantic joiner confined to cell, panicking over sex.
Which is?
Sex is it at the end. The definition is romantic. Joiner is and. inside the of cell over it, giving us candlelit, which is romantic.
Okay, so right. So we appear to have a small army in Winchester. Fine.
Well, go and talk to them when you finish leaving the island.
Well, yeah, that's kind of my plan. So we're besieging somewhere in Ireland. We're besieging lots of places in Lithuania.
See, this is an advantage of doing these wars in Ireland, is that you conveniently have an army kicking around that's about the right size to deal with a small besieging
Force, yes. And I can
It
always...
worked last time as well.
It did. I raised more troops in Ireland that time, though. But then they,
But then you were against the Holy Roman Empire, as I recall, so it was
Yes.
kind of a good plan to have more
it
troops.
was true.
So essentially what you've done is you've raised a defensive army, and then while it has nothing else to do, it just takes over a bit more of Ireland.
Yes. That's the one. Well, I mean, I don't have any commanders on my army, but, I have, 6 times as many people as you do, so, I mean... you can try it if you like, but you'd be a giant otter is effectively my position on this one.
Go on, stuck again.
Right, let's turn back into realm view. 29% more score over there. Right, well, you can just persistently keep sending people there, but, I don't really see that it's going to help much as such.
As Stoke.
Well, what are you guys doing? You don't appear to be doing anything. We should wander over there. And, hang on, let's just get rid of all the messages saying that people are joining the defensive pact against me for some reason. On the plus side, I am going to become renowned amongst Stoats, fairly shortly. But, I get 23 prestige a month, so it's not entirely surprising. Okay. Let's march into the next county. Are you done? Right, okay, off we go. I see what you mean about the sieges, though. Yeah, I've got this little southern army that I'll then, meander through these counties as I push this lot through the northern counties. Are any of these places I can assault? Yes. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't. Right, let's... How are we doing in Ireland? Right, let's get 5 piety for falling in love with my wife. So that's a 5.5 fort. You would think that, after your previous 3 experiences fighting me, you would just run away. Particularly since I still have, way more troops than you. I mean, I can understand optimism if you'd managed to squidge together, a few more mates or something. But you still have an army that is less than half the size of mine. And it seems unreasonably optimistic to think that, I'm not going to win this. While you sit there with your 3,500 that isn't even enough to besiege my fort. You're going to need a bigger army. there's 2 things in that count, 3 things in that county.
Yeah, that
Let's
one's
assault
proper
that.
castle.
You say that.
Yeah, I'm taking the first one down, but the first one was castle.
Yeah. So we're at 67% war score. Well, it turns out, I mean, I am throwing a lot more troops at them, but, you know, Lithuania is a lot softer than Ireland.
Well, yes, Ireland has invented castles.
Ireland's invented castles and has also invented, you know, sticking 2 fingers up at the English. Well in advance of Agincourt. Well, I mean, that might, you know, be a myth, but it's a fun myth, so...
Also, when you say the English, the armies they're dealing with are kind of Welsh and Irish, and
It's
the king
true.
is Greek.
Yep.
Sorry, the emperor is Greek.
Yes, but don't worry, you know, he comes from a long line of Anglo-Saxon shit. So, right, you've decided to join your personal guard in their daily training regimen at dawn. Things were a bit stiff at first, but when they realised you wouldn't have them beheaded for scoring hits on you with their wooden practice swords, they taught you many valuable lessons. Your martial skill is improved. Parry, riposte. I get 1 martial. Ooh, there's English-Byzantine de jure war over Kent. Oh right, so there's something in Kent that belongs to the Basileus, and they're nicking it back. Right, I'm fine with that.
I think the King of England would like it back.
Carry on, that's dope. Oh right, there's something over there, wasn't I? Yes, your attrition is currently quite high. Come on, win a siege. You haven't won a siege for like 5 whole seconds. You get to go over there. Hey, come on, you get to go. Stop it! I am trying to actually send someone somewhere. I can go into hiding. Let's not go into hiding. We are still hoping that... So one of my sort of current plans is to, you know, if things get too boring in Ireland, is to to dismiss my Scottish fleets and then raise some fleets here. I probably ran into some Lithuanian army while I wasn't looking.
Just some Lithuanian army.
Right, so we're at 71% war score. We've got a new Duke of Bohemia. Everyone is sitting around reading Brut and possibly not Liamon yet, but that will come up shortly. And we're all getting ready for Chaucer. Right, I think I can safely send my fleets home. Woohoo! We besieged Lublin. Lublin to Dublin. Stop winning sieges faster than I can do anything with them.
Lublin to Lublin.
Right. Let's still send you over there. What are we besieging now? Clonmacnoise. I've been there. I mean, to be fair, I have been to quite a lot of early medieval sites in Ireland. Particularly in the south. I haven't really been north of Dublin much. I appear to have won another battle while I wasn't looking. Right, so what's happened? Now holding in Surrey is under siege.
But the Lithuanian army has run into the
The
King
English
of England
army, which is frankly hilarious. Now holding in Beltuva is under siege. Oh right, you're trying to besiege it back, are you? Well, we're not very far advanced with that thing. Let's stick you in charge and send you on a little trip over here to make them miserable. You are not being revoked. Well, okay, if other people wish to run into my army while I'm sitting here. Yes. It's a bit odd how we accidentally turned the English Empire Greek, but whatever. I'm assuming that this was actually what was people were absolutely terrified would happen in the 1950s when Queenie. Well,
I think it was probably that the best diplomat you could get came from the Byzantine Empire.
yes.
You recruited them, then used them to train up the next generation of little de Normandies, and the next generation of little de Normandies turned out Greek. Or rather, you did it for the next generation but one, so you didn't get the opinion penalty because it was your grandchild.
Yes, and then it turned out that we ran through a couple in quick succession and ended up with a bunch of sort of Greek characters. Right. Well, let's hang on. Let's fight somewhere. I've got to spare one of you. Right. Let's make you walk a bit faster. So you're just sitting there in leash. Fine. I mean, I need to worry a little bit about my minus 5% war score there, but not very much. I mean, eventually I'm going to win. Okay. I've won another siege. Let's unpause, then actual battles can actually happen actually. Oh dear, something's happened to my Magistros. Alright, who are you? You're reasonable. Right. Let's zoom in a bit. Let's send you off to improve diplomatic relations in Gloucester. Right. Well, my little sister is incredibly diplomatic. Right, sign Guardian. Right. Zoom out a bit so I can actually see what's happening in this battle. Well, this war. Right, so now we're at 91% war score, 93% war score. 100% war score. Right. Release the otter. Enforce demands. Right. Right. Hooray, we won.
Crunch.
You need to wait a day.
Right, those are his problem. So, any question? Oh, what do you say? My only question is, do I raise the Scottish armies? Or do I just keep going with this lot on the grounds that they should be enough?
I would go for minimising the amount that you raise so as to avoid getting off too many vassals all at once.
It's true. Ooh, my wife is pregnant.
Faction problems, though I think your faction problems are not nearly as bad as they were.
It's true.
They usually end really terrible just after a succession.
I do need to worry a bit about
Yeah.
Despot Bay.
Despot Bjornwolf, the one whose army you're currently using.
Yeah.
Maybe you should stand down his army and raise that of someone who doesn't hate you.
Hang on, let's...
I mean, possibly not in that order, but...
I don't know.
Well, that way he won't be getting more annoyed with you as a result of your keeping his levies raised.
But I don't have the English levies raised over here.
What? Don't you?
No.
Are those...
Over here, hang on.
Oh, right, it's the army of Bjornwolf.
It's the army of Bjornwolf, but that's not...
standing at the head of it.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that they're his levies.
Yes. So I levied Wales and Ireland over here.
Oh, okay, that's fine then.
Which, you know, is perfectly reasonable.
Sorry, I was being unstoked.
Right, so what I was going to look up was where? Right, you're scheming in the wrong place. Off you go to Gloucester to try and dissuade Beowulf. I can't remember what his name is. To do the thing. Right, so let's tick time a bit faster because... Right, so we've got the Duchy of Pskov. Oh look, people are drawing the defensive pact against me. How surprising. Thank you, yes.
What's that gap between England and Scotland?
The Kingdom of Anatolia.
Right, is that a consequence of that succession that we thought might go wrong?
I think it is.
Yes. Oh well.
Well, let's face...
Scotland probably has a de jure
claim
on
on
it. They'll
it.
probably take it back at some point.
Someone has a de jure claim on it. Admittedly, if it is Scotland, I'd better hope that they're as scary as Thingy, but they can probably take it by Blitzkrieg. Because it is just a single county. Right, let's... Okay, currently I don't have any children. Right, let's
But
feed
it's
her
fine
up.
if your wife dies, because you can always get another.
Yes, but it's more that I want her to at least... Oh, there's another fortress. Endangered frontier of Poland.
Well, possibly it's not that there's another one, but that they're suffering from what they suffered from towards the end of your game
Yes.
of Poland, where people keep... They are seen as a soft touch and people keep invading.
Nicking their
Because the
stuff.
Teutonic Order turns out to be a good deal softer than most of the major empires of Europe.
It's true. See? Right, we're at 93% in. And in any case, we have to wander into there anyway. We are going to have to go and do some fairly tedious besieging in the north of Ireland, but that's fine. So you are 23, my current one,
It's the one on the left.
I thought it's 16. Right, yes, hello new court chaplain, we're fine with that. So, actually, what? What?
Losing you. Losing you.
What I want to do is find out where the capital of Lithuania is.
It's probably somewhere weird because it may still be wherever you landed the.
In that case, surely it's in England somewhere.
Well, if you go back, if you find the.
That's true. I
king,
can
You
just.
can probably look at where they are
Why have I clicked on
because he was your court chaplain.
you? Oh yeah. Right. Good point on me.
So yes, he is in Bedford. Maybe if you zoom in, you'll be able to see his shield. No, I suppose it's not his county. So so I think until he fixes that and moves his capital actually
Let's
to
just
Lithuania.
send our court chaplain somewhere random in Lithuania, if it's not Christian. Okay, let's stop you leading troops and get you proselytising. Over here. And we're in that phase of the universe in which the bishops are revolting. Ooh, 100% war score. Excellent. Right. Release the peace altar.
Release the Jedi.
Right, we won. Right, off we go. Yes, we're almost getting into the point where the King of, I think, Norway is very keen to make his court much more like that of Henry II of England, and so he is busy commissioning people to write lots of things to make him seem like a genuine, cultured Western European ruler. And so we have things like the Alexandriad and the Riddarasöga.
And
the Riddarasöga.
Riddarasöga.
Literally the riders' sagas, so sagas about knights. So you get translations of things like Tristram and Isolde, and the Alexandriad is a translation of an epic piece in favour of Alexander the Great, which was written in, I think, probably 11th century France. It's a Latin piece, and that's translated into Norse. So there we go.
That's brutal.
Right. Who are you? AM Random Army. Right, so what have we got there? We have 17% in battles. Okay, that's nice. You're forming alliances. I have a new heir. Ah, right. Well, I am not going to look up the Greek for badger. I am, however, going to use some of the Old English things in honour of some of my distant ancestors. So we're getting a Vesla. State. So, finance-wise, how are we doing? We are doing okay. So we're nearly finished building stage 2 of the Kaiserdom and stage 1 of the other things. Our child is destined for greatness. Let's go and actually look at our little daughter. She's not a genius. Oh well.
Yeah, but
she's not slow either. So
I suspect at this point the best you can hope for is to cancel out your slowness.
Yes.
This generation.
You're probably right.
Maybe next generation. You can get
So there we are. Let's assault that holding. We have plenty of stuff. Let's assault that holding. Right, now we're at least back to positive war score, including a large enough battle. Let's go off and do that. So my kinswoman has died a natural death. That's nice. We are besieging Dromatha. I have no idea where that is. while we're waiting, let's zip over here and see if we've got any good stuff to build on the Dove Memorial Garden that doesn't cost a bomb. So I can get poets, can get gardeners, which is perhaps not a terrible thing. Secluded groves, poisonous flowers. Garden statues is a possibility. Oh, let's build a historical mural. That's quite cheap. Oh, the Holy Roman Empire is besieging me. I wonder why. No, that's officially the problem of my minions. Because right now I've got a truce against the Holy Roman Empire, so I almost certainly shouldn't get involved. Let's just check that they haven't come in on the side of... Oh no, okay, right, the Holy Roman Empire has come in on that side. Bollocks, that's irksome.
What, are they in your... Are they...
Yeah.
Well, I think you should try to win the war before you have to engage with the Holy Roman Empire.
Right.
If assaults are even slightly a possibility.
Let's get you in. Yes.
Technically an assault is a possibility.
It is, but I will get these guys in first.
Just about got time for that.
Yeah. Just. Glue. Assault. Right, 50% more score. .84% more score. Uh-oh. I'm being poisoned. Well, okay, I haven't actually died of being poisoned. I guess that's good. But I fear that my days... Let's assault that holding. 100% more score. Release the otter. Okay.
So, there are 4 counties of Ireland still independent.
Yep. And one of... So, right. Let's leave my wife to take care of herself. I normally get a thing saying your high diplomacy means you can be nice to her, but apparently not. Right, let's go on a grand hunt. It is nice and peaceful.
Are you in England?
I am, yes. Ooh, I think we've got a new Holy Roman Emperor, because I don't seem to have a truce with him. Right, so...
Are you always pink, or is England pink on the grounds of Britain is pink?
England is pink.
Britain, I think, the Empire of Britannia, I think, is a slightly darker shade, but Verity found it easier to go the expensive route of founding a custom empire rather than actually taking over Ireland early on. Indeed, she still hasn't
taken over Ireland, because it turns out...
Is England always pink in it?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that British Empire is usually pink in
I don't know. I mean, the colours are kind of... Yeah, the colours tend towards the traditional. So Ireland is green and France is blue, and the Holy Roman Empire is white. So we're mostly actually going by racing car colours. Oh no, so Britain should be green. Britain would be green then, wouldn't it? It's not. So yes, we're obviously going by rugby shirts.
Excellent.
Right.
Uh,
I'd just like to point out that everyone, including the Holy Roman Emperor, is part of the defensive pact against me. Well, let's see if we can gain some martial or not
apart
get
from
named.
those 2 Norwegian revolts.
Apart from those 2 Norwegian revolts, do I actually have a good claim against any of those Norwegian revolts?
It's gone.
I can claim Opland, so I could go to war for Opland.
Okay, maybe it's only 1 Norwegian revolt now.
And it's not going to end soon. Let's... Right, he has landed. Yes, he is my vassal. He is Baron of Hastings. Right, send. Back to
Oh, right, yes, I think he's the guy you... No, he's some other guy you've landed in an attempt to get to Norway and failed, I think.
Yeah,
Because Hastings was definitely one that you built for the purposes of landing people.
yeah. Right, well, let's see how grateful Lithuania is right now. Reasonably is the answer. Do I need more than that? How many troops do you notionally have? Oh, thingy. About 4,000, so I've got about 6,000 there. That should do. Oh well, we have to cancel our great hunt because we're busy going to war instead. Even though I've sent like 2 random lots off.
It's not like you need to be involved in this,
No.
in this war.
Let's see if I
It's
can
an
get
enormous
rid of some
empire.
of my
You can do wars
prisoners.
without needing the emperor to be personally involved in every one.
That's true. Oops. Right. Let's send you over there. You.
Beep, beep.
Let's send you in there. Actually, that was entirely the wrong place to send you, but whatever. I'll deal with it later. Okay. So let's you into there. Let's turn that down a bit. Let's stick you on there. Who have we got there? Let's stick thingy on there. Unfalls. Can we release anyone else from our dungeon? Military is intrigue. besieging there. Lillehammer. There were some Olympic Games there about 1 million years ago. 1994, I think. How's my income? A bit dire. Probably should try and find some way of founding a merchant republic again that reports direct to me. Okay, can we ransom any more prisoners? Or are we... Right, okay, we have ransomed all available prisoners. Let's shove you into that one. Don't worry, the capital of Lithuania is still Bedford.
Well, I suspect part of the problem is that a castle in Bedford is much better than a tribe somewhere in Lithuania.
Yes.
But there is a castle
That's
in
just
Riga.
wrong. Bedford is not where the Lithuanians are, it's where the Poles are.
Yes,
That's
thank
true.
Well, you know.
Only the poles of the earth. And only the magnetic ones.
That's the most important ones.
Oh look, it's being cold in Norway. Who knew? Right, so how are we doing? We're doing okay. That's going to be a bit marginal, but I can always hive some people off this one if it's looking a bit dubious. Let's... Right, I'm going to threaten Baywatch when he's annoying me. I will take time slightly faster because besieging things is still, as we know, tedious. Factions. Right, okay. God, Catholic. You are leading an independence faction. You are the Duke of Lidos. Oh, right, you're there. Right, okay. Scheme. Off you go. You've lost too many people. Where are you going? You're going to... Where's that anyway?
One of your two counties are adjacent.
I'm going to bring them back in. I only split them up because it was winter and we were over the supply limit. What on earth's happening there?
I think that's still the King of England's attempts at taking back one town in Kent from the Byzantine Empire.
People are trying to kill me. Yay.
Well, you've currently got a child,
It's true.
albeit a rather young one.
Yes. Yep. She's my heir at the moment. That's my sister, who I kind of hoped would inherit, but
But you wouldn't have had children.
unfortunately I didn't have children.
I mean, you could have decided not to become your wife's lover.
I could have done, but you know, I forgot in a moment of weakness. Right, that's got us 10% more score. Yes, Norway in this period is being very expansionist in real life, and is, you know, this is the point at which it's shooting to take over Iceland. In time, by the time we're, you know, well into the 13th century, Norway is in charge of Iceland. This is one of the reasons we actually get all the Icelandic sagas, which are mostly written down around now. Some have older roots, but a lot of the sagas are written around now to assert the independence and cultural supremacy of Iceland in the face of Norwegian invasion. Yes. With a side order of how mostly, yes, we're all Norwegians really, but we're all Norwegian rebels, because we're all people that, you know, got pissed off with the King of Norway, or possibly the King of Norway got pissed off with us and we wandered off. Now, how much of that is actually true, because Norway itself, you know, at the time Iceland was being settled in like the 8th century or so, Norway wasn't necessarily a very cohesive kingdom, but it was suffering a lot of overpopulation in the sort of habitable bits round here, which is actually why people buggered off to Iceland, because Iceland was freely available. You could go there. It was, of course, the medieval sort of warm period, which is starting to slow down a bit now. It's starting to turn into a bit of a chill, which is actually one of the reasons Iceland stops becoming quite so self-sustaining. You know, it becomes a lot less viable to live in Iceland when you're not in the midst of effectively, you know, one of the warmest periods in centuries, because it turns out Iceland is bloody miserable. It is very cold in winter. It is very inhospitable. It's not really a fantastic place for trees. It is very difficult to maintain your fleet there, because it's quite even, you know, once you've used all the trees to build your ships, it's quite hard to grow new ones, particularly as it's getting colder. And so it's very hard to maintain your Icelandic lifestyle without raiding, or without trading with your nearest neighbours. I point out that your nearest neighbours to Iceland are the Faroes, those notably lovely rocks in the North Atlantic, Greenland, which is effectively the result of Icelanders trying to massively sell Greenland as an awesome place. Ooh, I've had sun. Right. Rock.
Oh, you discovered the K, though.
Well, it's the
That's
13th
a kind of
century.
a concession to Greekness.
Yeah.
Put K's in it. If
We
you get
understand.
more Greek, you could spell it with 2 K's instead.
Yes, not that Greek. And Norway and Scotland. Is it winter again? Okay, we're quite close to the supply limit. I'll just let a few people die.
Cool. Was that thing merging into your empire or something?
Somewhere no longer considered de jure part of Sweden.
Oh, right.
So, yes.
So probably not becoming de jure part of... Where was it that changed?
I don't know.
Probably, if you look in the log, it's
Oh yeah, good point. Well stated.
There's, of course, lots of other things within the log.
Hang on. Okay.
That's curious. That's everything you have from log colour.
Me too.
You probably want to go back to Normandy rather than de jure empires.
It's true. Holy Roman Empire is now sufficiently unimpressive that there's no longer a defensive pact against him. Well, no longer so many defensive pacts against him. He's only got like 25,000 troops. That's not even trying. Right. I've got a new king of Pannonia. Aquitanian de jure war over Angoulême. Ah, so it's the Duchy of Aquitaine versus the Kingdom of Aquitaine. The Duchy of Aquitaine being all that's left of the Kingdom of Aquitaine after we, when that's the one.
And then usurp the kingdom title. This was
That's the one.
a very useful move.
Zoom in. So you're there, you're heading to your head mark. Do I have... Yes, I do have an organiser. Right, off we go. Okay, you what now? Going to Osterdal. Where's Osterdal? There we are. They do have a fairly stonking defensive advantage, being as they are in some mountains. It's not going fantastically, but I can always do the emergency summon more troops if that becomes really necessary. Fortunately,
Just about works.
my lot are pretty good. That's given us 69% more score.
Now you presumably just want to stomp into one remaining county?
Yeah, hang on. So we're in there. Well, they've got they're holding Dover, so
Yes, but it doesn't help you to take things off
that's true.
them that de jure belong to Norway, or rather
It's
that they
true.
belong to Norway and are currently occupied by them. Unless you need to rebalance the war with Norway to make sure it doesn't end too soon.
I don't think so, but I will just
But
check.
given it's been going on for like several years,
It's true.
it's unlikely.
Right. She's currently winning, but is not in imminent danger of winning before I look like winning. Right, I think I can send my fleets home.
I don't think that was what you meant.
No, that was not what I meant. Right, you guys go there. You go there. You go there. Right. That's more what I meant. Oh, good lord, my wife's pregnant again. I should perhaps not have things that increase fertility. Right, let's sit down inside Lykanger. I'm holding it planned. What holding it planned? Okay, that is in fact Yeah.
Because I think once you take this holding, you should get 100% war score by occupation.
I'll have to take 2 holdings. That one might be feasible to assault.
Anyway, they're good enough.
Haha. I finished building a castle in York. Right, yeah, the guy is landed. He's Baron of something. Yeah. Baron of Hastings. Father calls Weasel, pulling my arm, pleading to play with her and her latest toy. Completely oblivious to all the important work I'm in the middle of, yet how could I say no to such a sweet, innocent exuberance? Wow. Oh yeah, pausing means that we can't win a war. Stasis is not our friend. Ooh, they're trying to besiege that back. So, English Sunni revolt in Lisbon. Okay, whatever.
You're going to probably get the county you're in first. So.
It's true. I'm just going to scroll over here while I busily besiege and go 10,000 Sunni, 9,000 Sunni troops there. Fine. I can probably raise some French armies in a bit to go and squish that. Right. It's Great Holy War for Novgorod. Alright, the mighty Tiatalatina has decided that it's time to teach Basileus Paschalis of England and the believers in the dead crucified God another lesson in humility. All free Stromensko men are invited to partake in the scouring of the kingdom of Novgorod. Master Ava is with us. To arms.
Well,
Okay.
that went well for them last time. It didn't.
And Tiatalatina has sent a declaration of war to the spineless dullard Paschalis. Tales of your misdeeds are told from Ireland to Cathay. I mean, that is probably true.
You've certainly had plenty of misdeeds in Ireland.
Yeah. Don't think I've got as far as Cathay. I mean, but not for want of trying.
The game doesn't really extend to Cathay.
Cathay's over here somewhere, isn't it? Our army shall meet on the field of battle. So we could look up where Cathay is meant to be in kind of modern terms. I've got 95% more score. I will assault this holding though, if I can. So that I can win this war. Construction of the historical mural has finished. Offer to join war. Yes, I am very keen that people join me in this war, particularly since I am not currently that interested in actually going to that war because it would be tedious. Right. Let's assault this holding. Right, we have 100% war score. Release the peace otter. We won. Okay, this bit's also part of England. Okay. I seem to have won like all of the revolt.
Which should get the King of Norway to like you, though I'm sure wasn't Viken part of Norway before.
Yeah.
Curious.
Whoops. I think Viken is now... No? I have no idea. But I definitely... Let's see. Is Viken part of the Defensive Pact against me? Yes.
Okay, so it probably hasn't just come into existence.
It probably has not just come into existence. Right, so, right. Let's go and deal with like 10,000, 9,000 angry whatevers. So we've got the Badajozen revolt, Lusitania, Carthage, France. Right, let's raise some French troops. Carthaginian troops. Castilian troops. Brilliant. realms in Novgorod. Here we've got a new despot of France. It's nice. Kingdom of Aragon, Jerusalem. Kingdom of Crusader Jerusalem. On the plus side, I shouldn't piss my vassals off any more than they are already pissed off. And mostly that's Denmark and Lithuania. So I could try not raising Denmark and Lithuania. Everyone's joining in both the Holy War and the Defensive Pact. Brilliant, just what we wanted. Oh right, okay. Fine. I will at least cheer up some of my vassals slightly before I get to war. Right. Blue. Let's just check that there's no going to be a supply limit problem. Right, off you go. Right, so Mr. Bond. Right, it is time, I think, to look up. What else do I have? The Old English Word Book in my. Of course not, that would be useful. So Meath is what we want for a bloke. Right, okay.
Surely there must be one, just need to know how it's spelt.
Bulgarian.
Or maybe it isn't. Maybe the concept of a muster is a really weird one for Greek. Might be what-
That's surely Russian.
It doesn't look
No.
like. I mean, I think it's.
Okay, let's go for plan B, which is right. You're getting billets. I'm pretty sure I've had a billet in the past. I'm just,
It's an old family name.
it's an old family
We
name.
don't know what it means anymore because none of us can speak French.
Yeah. I could, of course, look up Latin. That would be a thing.
Map viewer, because wasn't mostly France, England last time I looked?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is showing the sub-realms of the
Okay.
empire, which is convenient if you're trying to get troops because you raise the troops from the sub-realms for the most part.
Okay.
Yes. And this allows you to raise your troops from your sub-realms in a geographically convenient place. On a good
And
day.
So, yes, France and Aquitaine and Brittany are all vassals of the Empire of England.
As indeed is Castile and Carthaginiensis. Or whatever it is.
And Lusitania.
Right, 100% war score. We captured him. Release the peace otter. Okay. Right. No, I didn't actually mean to raise the troops. What I wanted to do was raise the vassal fleets. So that is not enough ships. That is not enough ships. That's enough ships. Well, it will be when I send it over there. So we've raised France and thing and whatnot. Some problem that I need to remember where my vassal realms are. So we're trying to get up there. So people are going to come visiting to Lithuania. Okay, Pannonia is not inconsiderable. Let's just herd you guys up there. Don't want to raise Denmark if we can avoid it. I'll raise Scotland in a bit. Stick you on some ships and ship you off over here. That will probably be enough to be going on with. Got a new doge. New danger. Right. Okay, what have we got commander wise? You're a skilled tactician and you've got a lot of stuff, right? Do we have glue? So 10. Glue. Insert. Insert. Ship you off over. Actually, let's ship you off to there. Because I do have some perfect cromulent ports around here now. Right, let's zoom out a bit and switch back to realm view. You guys, who have we got? We don't want Danish there. We do want Danish on wing. Right. Off we go over there. I could probably get rid of those ships. Tecfina has gone Catholic for like the 9,000th time. Woohoo, we're in credit. I should maybe try not to build anything for a bit.
Have a message.
That's probably someone saying, I'd like to join our holy war. Yeah, whatever. Another new doge. I had one like 5 minutes ago.
Well, they tend towards inheriting old.
Yeah. Oh, I got -2% score. Okay, I've lost a couple of holdings apparently.
Yes. You can see on the A's.
Let's send you in there to de-stripify that. And when that lot arrive, I can send them over there to de-stripify that. Oh no,
That's
a different thing.
That's not interesting.
Oh well, I could send them up there to de-stripify. And that's occupied by the Lithuanian revolt. So let's send you over there. Oh dear. Despot Beowulf is trying to kill me. Like
Oh, you know
that's
who's
going
trying to
to
kill you?
help. It's true.
You could imprison him, or indeed
Well,
possibly do worse. I mean, maybe not in the middle of a war.
I've got a 1% chance of imprisoning him.
Uh,
I could request his excommunication.
um. So the thing is, if you fail to imprison him, what happens is you end up at war with the Kingdom of England.
Yes.
And then you win that war, and then you revoke the Kingdom of England from him.
Yeah.
So it's not. I mean, I assume you would get trouble if you just revoked the Kingdom of England now.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think attempting to, you can ask him to not plot against you, but like the opportunity to get back the Kingdom of England is a kind of interesting.
It's true.
So I think imprisoning him will either succeed, in which case it'll probably make it fairly hard for him to plot against you,
Yeah.
or more likely it will fail. You will have another war on your hands, which you might not want at this stage.
Yes.
Um,
let's. Oh no, our chance has gone up. Oh no, that's built when.
Don't accidentally imprison the wrong person.
Right.
As expected.
Yes.
So now you need enough troops to squash England that aren't already in Eastern Europe.
Who are you? That's Estonia. Why does Estonia hate? Oh right, Estonia's part of the thing.
So how many troops has England got in?
No, that's the wrong person.
I think you're doing all right with that lot raised. You might want a bit more.
Yes.
There's a great big hole in this sheet. I should keep an eye on this.
those single sheets.
Yes.
If you've got double sheets, then you could use this half of it where a hole in the middle, shift it a quarter of the way along, so the holes are at the edge, where a hole in the middle, shift it a quarter along, and that way you get 3 uses of sheet for the twice the sheet.
They're not actually twice the size
Well, then why are they called single and double?
because of the number of people you can fit on them.
Then mine's a small double, so I could fit 2 small people.
Yes.
Okay. And king size, you could fit a king.
Yeah, more or less.
And a futon, you can just put 1 futon.
Thank you.
Thinking about it, a futon should really be called Lilo.
That's true. Let's do it. It's okay. I've realised that I've got this army of 20,000 people that,
Doesn't really need to have 20,000 people in it.
does not really need to have 20,000 people in
I
it.
mean, it'll help with crushing this.
Yeah, but I don't need like all of them. So I actually got an army of 3,000 and an army of 16,000. I think. Let's sail this army of 16,000 over here.
practical, convenient bits of not England.
Yeah. Okay, that's all doing what I want. Over there. Of course, I've lost one of my commanders on account of the fact that it was Beowulf of England who was
Beowulf.
Beowulf. I was
This matters because Beowulf is king of Ireland.
well, and you see, this is why I have problems with Anglo-Saxon history, because everyone has very similar names. They're all formed on the same pattern. So 17% more squad over there. You are an army. Off you go there. Right. You are an army. So you're heading off to Novgorod. Zoom out. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do is keep you guys hanging around out there. I can always go and kick some of the
You have a message from someone who probably wants to join your war.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well,
I don't really need your help. So, right. Anyway, vassals, you say. Vassals aren't complete bastards.
what are you doing?
Moving my ambassador.
Oh,
I
right.
don't want him to bother sitting there cheering up.
Someone who is going to be in prison and no longer king of England fairly soon.
Indeed.
Yes, excommunication would, I think, have been another way to get him off the throne, because you can excommunicate him. Oh, I'm not sure if you can go to war against your own vassals for excommunication, mind. But someone else could then go to war against him and cause him to be shoved off the throne because he had been excommunicated.
Go on. I have a theory. Let's click to recall. Let's zoom out a bit and see if there's anywhere in the whole world can get to fabricate claims in the Middle East at least until. You know. So, you guys. I'll leave the fleet there just in case I want to do something. Ever. So you're watching over there. I'm now just hanging around, hoping to find some people to fight.
I think as long as you hold all of your territory, then the war score will gradually tick in your favour. Indeed, you don't even have to take back Pomeranier because it's not part of de jure Novgorod.
But I will, because you know.
I think they will still get ticking war score for it, but you'll be getting ticking war score for holding Novgorod.
Yes.
Looks like there's a new Norwegian revolt.
Yeah.
Or at least a differently geographically situated Norwegian revolt. But currently there's an English revolt. So
there currently is indeed an
well,
English
not quite
revolt.
An English revolt. England is revolting. The whole of England.
All of
But
it.
not that England, the other England.
Lord, I am getting through commanders quite fast at the moment. I mean, you can send more people to join in the war, but I'd just like to point out it's somewhat futile. So what have we got? Yeah, 3.75% now. Right, well, we've besieged back Northampton. That's given us 5% war score. And I will just leave my guys sitting around here until I get a message that says somewhere's besieging and I should do something about it. I don't want chiefdom. The whole lot, or not at all. Don't need your help in the war. Don't really need your help in the war. I mean, you know. Like say, is Borsk? It's over there. No, it's winter. Okay. Let's. You lot over there. And you lot over here.
You've got some good commanders.
I've got okay commanders.
Closeness.
Hey, they're running away. Let's put some good guys in charge of this lot. Like you. Your siege leaders, I don't think we really need trouble you. And you will all do. Okay. Numerical advantage, not what was hoped for. Hey, how did you end up being defenders? But anyway, I am sending some people in. Right. You are gonna go over there. Hurry up. I mean, we're not doing badly, but I could really do with a bit of support. Jihad for Persia. Right, well, let's bring you lot down there. Oops, we lost that battle. Whoops. Well. You know, lots of people committed to be part of battle, but, you know, didn't turn up. Battle of Colchester, victory. Right, so now I'm besieging there. Right, what have we got left to besiege? Morpeth. Go on, we'll let you join in our war. Oh dear, something's happened to my regent. Right, you're going to be my designated regent. Right, I'm not going to let my vassals be that pissed off. There's just no way I can afford that. Right, off you guys go to Durham. Haven't actually seen any English troops, but whatever.
Didn't you win a battle in Colchester just now?
Yeah, but that was actually against the Estonians.
Okay.
You know. It's very inconvenient. I mean, admittedly, this is probably because the reason I've not seen any English troops is they're probably all over, like, in somewhere
Rather bizarrely, I think
completely random.
they are actually the troops you can raise are I think independent of the troops that your vassals can raise, or something bizarre.
I was mostly thinking that, you know, maybe the actual English are off in a war somewhere.
Well, it's possible, of course, that if the Kingdom of England offered to join this war, or indeed is in some other war, then yes. And then maybe a bit short of troops.
Join parties. Gender, male. Pointy stick talents. Right, let's invite you to court. Okay, come Plunder. Heraclius. Colchester. Besieged. Holding Schleswig. It's under siege, is it? Okay, it's by someone completely different. Fine, where are you going? You're going to Luki. Where is Luki anyway? Over there. News. Castle of St John. Oh, I have found. Oh dear, I'm probably about to explode.
Oh dear.
Whoops. Well, let's see what happens to all my wars. Basileus Pascalis has given up the ghost at age 22. He was murdered on the orders of Rodrigo de Acuna.
Not on the orders of any of the other people trying to murder you.
Never succeeded in making a name for himself, that's too true. Pascalis is
You
most
might have
notable.
managed to get the great if you'd actually finished that Great Holy War.
It's
but
true. Pascalis' most notable deed was participating in the construction of the great works which he'll never see finished. I didn't even start them either. I'm pretty sure that was my
You
dad.
just put a few extra stones on them.
Basileus Brock, merely 2 years old, the realm is left in the capable hands of the Regent Council. Long live Basileus Brock. So be it. Right.
Both wars are still ongoing.
Both wars are still ongoing. I've lost the English army that was there in Denmark a minute ago. I might want to unpause.
Yes. I think we've now taken control of the
Right.
armies. I think the problem was that the armies still belonged to your predecessor.
Yes. So, who am I? I am Basileus Brock. My heir is my little sister. Council positions. So who is my regent? My regent is her. She's pretty stonking.
Was why we chose her.
Which was, after all, why I chose. She doesn't like me very much, but we'll see. Right, so I need a pointy stick guy. He'll do, that will cheer you up a bit. I need a chancellor. Let's make it you, because that will also cheer you up a bit. Not chancellor, I mean...
Yeah.
I always forget that it's steward, because chancellors
That's a
these
lot.
days have control of the money, which is why it always confuses me. Right, so... You know that the baronies will disappear. I'm sure that I'm very threatening. Let's deal with inheritance things later. So, factions currently.
No, I'm not sure they will
That
find
will
this
probably
pretty quickly.
Right, revolt risk. Right, everywhere is pretty unrevolting. On general principle, therefore, we're going to get you to train. Oh no, you're currently leading an army. Let's not get you to.
No, they're not. You just appointed them. They can't possibly be leading an army yet.
There we go. Lithuanian revolt. Let's go. You researching economy tech. I am not going to put my Mystikos and Magistros out until I know what's happening. Sit back over there. So we've besieged Malden. Right, you guys get in there, and then we'll stick you lot on a ship. Ooh, people are leaving the defensive pact against me. That's nice.
Well, that's probably because you're hugely unpopular, so you don't have many troops at your disposal.
It's possibly true.
Because you're like tiny and new.
I've still got 84,000 troops. Or at least till the end of the month. So, you know.
Okay, maybe they're just confused.
People are joining the defensive pact as well, so, you know. It is possible that balance will be restored in the force.
Yes, but I suspect that for the next few years you're going to be mostly dealing with domestic matters.
You say that.
Where domestic includes invading England.
Again.
Going to war with England.
Let's just check.
Ironing complete.
Let's do over there. Right. Set on ship. Bung ship into Denmark. So we have besieged Durham, now we're besieging Hartlepool. How did you manage to lose that battle? Doesn't seem to have done very much for my war score, so whatever. My priority is really to get England back. I mean, you know, it's nice to have Novgorod, but in a strict competition,
Also, you have got plenty of allies in that war, even though you turned off them.
it's true. They
But
haven't
they'll
done
turn up, it does
anything.
not matter,
Right, we have besieged Hartlepool, and now we're besieging Gateshead. I've still got like 80,000 troops even after going through the month boundary change, so...
Okay.
Hey guys, what are you doing to my centre? What are you doing to my everything?
You just lost another battle embarrassingly.
This is to the English, so yes. Well, that's a bit of a bugger. Oh, that's killed my Magistros and my court chaplain. Fine. Fine. Honestly, what are you not doing? Good. So let's meet you two. Let's go over there. Meet you two together, and then march you and glue and march you into there. Right, so you are now a bit small. Let's march you over there, march you over there, and then form a little swap. Technological advances. Let's get some more noble customs, everybody. Right, I can't get anything else good. Fine, let's go commander shopping. Again. Yes. Let's leave you there, because that's actually useful. No, actually, let's march you into there, because then you can be reinforcing. You're reinforcing at that many months. Excellent. I'll shove you. No, I don't want to disband you, I want to shove you on a ship. Let's shove you over to York, where we can perform a swap. Hopefully. Glue. Oh, that's the Lithuanian revolt. Whatever. They're annoying me. So, 13,000 troops. What? Jihad for Egypt. Wow. It's no concern of ours. Okay, so we need to go and kick that lot in a minute. Like more hot water. Be a thing. Okay.
So,
Yes.
can all this hot hay go?
Yes.
Do you have to make some space for 20?
That's certainly a theory. Let's besiege Appleby. Not presumably Sir Humphrey Appleby. Right. Okay, it's vitally important. If you're going to invade Schleswig-Holstein, or in this case Schleswig, you should do it from the south. That way you don't have to do a river crossing. I don't quite see why... What?
You appear to have been unfortunate.
Again. Yes. Right, I might just have to glue the whole sodding English army together into one glorious whole.
They turn to mush, stone green bin or composting?
Composting is probably not good. If there's space in there.
You lot. Get over there. Something to my Chancellor, right, let's appoint Chancellor. Let's get you researching anything in there. Oh, let's check now whether we've got any factions. Independence, Duke of Cumbria. Right, well let's stick you onto Cumbrian cheering up duty, and you onto don't you dare create an independence faction, because those are by far the most dangerous for me. I've lost the English army again, which is oh, there it is. Okay. Going over there. Okay. No, you are meant to be going into that county. Right over there. Blasted traitors. Peasant revolt in in Armenia.
All your troops already raised elsewhere.
And no, sorry, there's a revolt there. Sorry, which has got some random people, and then there's the Bolognian revolt, which is over there. So.
And generally, the best approach to peasant revolt seems to be to ignore them unless you actually are trying to community and to really do something about it.
It's true. You guys, come over here.
And currently, you're busy playing whack-a-mole with the
Yeah, I mean, I can send. I might be able to send some people down to squash some revolts at some point, but not.
You are at 94% war score in the Great Red War.
Indeed. You've besieged Cartmel. Right, get over there. Right, glue. Right, what have we got? Your battlefield terrain master. You're a flanker. Your thingy. Stuff you on a ship. Off we go. Okay, I mean, go wild, you guys. Hey, what happened? Right. Fine. Well, there's not very many people here. No, right. Military. So, Peterborough. Portchester.
No?
That's not what I want. That's the button I want. Right, you'll do. Right, no, but first, before I besiege, I want to walk in there and
Also, I think
kick.
whatever it is in Middlesex, it's not the thing that actually matters.
It's probably not. I will check. Right, so where are you going? You're going to Evreux. Where's Evreux? Evreux is over there. Wow. Let's actually swap you over. Let's march you over there. And see where we're going. What are you guys doing up there? Then annoy me. Right, you're having a battle. The battle. What? Okay, children have a guardian. My
She's currently your heir.
heir.
You don't know what you're going to say very well.
Right. You definitely are getting a matrilineal marriage.
I would go for a genius since there might be a. She may actually have got inherited the empire. You can find one which you can't state. She's currently 6, so she must preferably someone aged at least 6.
I'm likely to select that. Right. Assign guardian. Grey eminence. Honest, ambitious, Ruth, charitable. Brave, ambitious, kind. Charitable, just. What culture are we? We're Greek, aren't we?
Yes.
Yes.
So since she is your heir, you probably want to arrange that the
Yeah.
that her Greek. Even if that means inviting a new one from the board.
Well, temporarily, let's put her with someone with good stat. Oh no, no. Temporarily, we still need to put her with someone that's Greek.
Yes.
Let's put her with the Mayor of Fulham. And let's... right, I can go for any gender. Culture. My culture.
I think ideally religion, your religion. The number of Greek Catholics around is quite small.
Let's just actually join court. Yes. Gender is any. Culture is my culture. And at least he's got grey eminence.
Yes.
So we can invite him to court and see what happens there. How's that battle going? Battle's going okay.
So it looks like Sussex has territory. Is that what Cargo's on the map?
So
Currently this is Winchester because you're in somewhere owned
by England. But what I want to do is go over there.
Trying to finish that war.
War, yes. Right. Now let's find my little sister. So he's flamboyant schemer. Right, we do not want him carrying on. Let's assign guardian. Right, there we are, a nice Greek grey eminence. So you're going to Maine. There's Maine, there's Maine. Right. Off we go over there.
I've got good commanders.
Yes. He's out on the flank because he's a flanker. Let's watch this battle. Should turn time down a bit. Let's read messages. Our Holy Winchester is under siege, not really. Of course, I might not be able to revoke his title because I might be, underage or something.
Yes, I think that may
So I
be.
might have to wait until I achieve my majority. Pause and nip over to here to see what's going on. Right, so that is the kind of place that let's also just assault it to get that back, and then go and stand somewhere with a better
Excellent war score.
supply limit. Let's see if we can offer a peace. Please just walk over there while we wait for something to happen. Right, finally, fingers crossed,
You win a battle in this war.
might manage to win a battle against the King of England. Or rather, the other King of England.
Oh, the King of England as opposed to the Emperor of England.
It's
Basileus
true.
of England.
Yes. Maybe I'll kill him.
He is leading that army. it's true.
He is leading that army. Right. Right. Let's get in there. Let's see if they'll. Fine. Aha! 100% more score. Release the peace otter. Oh, I'm now known as the Hammer of Normandy. Brock the Hammer.
For having won
Well,
that
Yes.
holy war.
Yes, that's terribly exciting. Right, so we are now down to only one more. Or two wars. So, right, how many people? Oh, yeah, sorry, you're a pedant revolt, aren't you? Right, you're over there. So, I have 7,000 people and a commander. Right, let's go and make the pedants miserable. Right. Oh, that's 5.5, but let's assault it.
That one might be a bit harder.
Right, so, let's go and...
I think you're currently besieging somewhere that needs besieging.
Am I? Right, yeah.
That's not where you are.
Arundel. Let's... Yeah, okay. Commanders. Well, you're promising enough. So, how am I coming along? Oh, little badger. I'm 4.
You don't appear to have Guardian. Oh, because you're 4.
Four.
You only get one at 6.
Yeah, I don't need one yet. I can be unguarded. So now, what are we doing? I do have a big enough.
Compensated for the battle
Yes,
problem.
I do have a big enough win if we can. Good lord.
You've lost commander again. So Ichabos has gone off to press some chain or other. Right. That case is now dry.
Right, let's go for culture. Any culture. Join court, yes. Pointy stick talent, yes. Let's invite you to court.
Oh, yeah, I think.
You are now besieging Paris. I shall finish this siege. And then go and besiege Paris. I'll kick Paris, more to the point. Oh look, people are joining the defensive pact. On the plus side, I don't currently have pissed off vassals for having raised their levies too long. I am down on my levies quite a lot though, but of course I am missing England.
And you've they will have been depleted
by the
Existing
existing walls. Yes. Right.
Yes, I mean, all of your wars have been defensive recently.
Well, basically,
Great
since
Holy War, technically even the one against England.
it's true.
Because he started it. You just tried to imprison him. I mean,
Yeah.
he started that by plotting to kill
Trying
your
to
father.
kill. Yes. Didn't succeed in killing my
No,
father.
no,
which
someone
is
else
pretty
killed your father.
Yeah,
Your father was a very unpopular man in his own way.
it's true. He didn't even get a nickname,
No.
whereas I got a nickname. And I'm only 4. Right, 100% war score. Release the peace onto. Right, we've squashed that peasant revolt. So, where have we got that's useful? Let's get you going over there to besiege that lot back. And we might as well send you over there to wait, because there's much more that I can be doing over in France, like first of all finishing this siege, for example, and then going and seeing if Paris is nice at this time of year. Spoiler, it's August. Everyone thinks Paris in August is terrible, especially, and this is important, the Parisians. Although technically we're not in Paris yet. He's not in Paris yet. He's in Milan. Whereas we're besieging Angers, which is a nice cathedral. Has a nice cathedral. Not a very nice cathedral. There are definitely nicer cathedrals out there, but you know, it's not a bad one. Armenia's joined that lot, so I should worry a bit about Armenia. Right. So he's joined in with England.
Oh, right.
Pestilential state. That's fine.
That's another. Oh, hang on. He's already. Oh, no. Is he a king? I think.
No,
He's a duke. Sorry.
he's a
yeah.
duke. He's a
You
duke.
you don't have duchy of viceroyalty yet.
No.
I don't want them. I think you want to find a kingdom.
Well, ideally, we conquer enough stuff out there to build a
Yeah.
kingdom. Yes, you know, when people aren't trying to rebel against me, they could be perfectly well kicking neighbouring countries. You know, this is a thoroughly approved thing. More tea?
Oh, actually, tea.
Well, hot water. More pre-tea. Right, I'm not quite sure why you didn't run away, but run away you didn't. There's no defensive issues here. I just want to kick you until you're too small to besiege anything good. Right. We have besieged Arundel. Now we're besieging Chichester. That's taken us back up to 30%. What are we besieging? Which is held by you. Ah, right, okay, so we're besieging one of the holdings held by one of their commanders. Okay, that's reasonable.
Yes, of course. It's rather hard to tell which holdings are yours and which holdings are so you can tell because his have a red outline in the
Oh yeah,
pictures, which indicates
that's kind of handy.
held by an enemy.
Okay, anyway, I'll besiege that place, then probably wander over to Anjou, do a little light besieging there. I'll try and get this lot wandering through, besieging what they can, though that might be a bit limited because they are a bit small.
You do seem to have a bunch of small armies kicking around in the north doing nothing useful.
Oh, those are mine, aren't they?
Yeah, you may as well send them down to Sussex.
Yeah, that'll speed things up a bit. I kept thinking that they were English, but this is because fundamentally our arms are in fact exactly the same.
Because you are the Empire of England.
Yes. Yes. I do have a feeling that we get our midgerousness rather earlier than is actually the case in real life, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to tell anyone apart. Obviously that's why our midgerousness originated, although
You say ambiguousness?
yes,
Okay.
it's a perfectly good word.
Yes, well,
It really is.
okay.
You can look it up and everything.
I was could have better one ago, but I've got distracted and now I'm on the sofa again.
State. That's great.
Well, I mean, we do have the advantage that we're not going to be woken up at 6 in the morning by excitable small children.
Oh yes.
Unless you have bought someone excitable small children for Christmas, which would be very weird.
No excitable
Ring,
small
ring.
children, no Santa.
You're going to be having a helloing conversation with Robin now.
Well, there's not much else you can do with a child who's like 6 months old.
Can it say hello yet?
No.
She said nothing at all.
Okay.
Did you get any noises out at all?
Not when I was talking to her.
Okay.
So,
So you've got no idea if she's actually there or not.
State.
yeah.
I mean, bear in mind, I was a very precocious talker. I don't think I was very precocious in my first words, but I think those were around 9 months. But I was talking in sentences by the time I was 2, which is pretty
I know I was
unusual.
reading
Oh, I could read my name by 18 months.
Apparently I got bored at the speed when I read the paper when I was 4. Apparently.
So by that age, I was reading The Hobbit.
I was reading the newspaper.
We only ever had newspapers on... I don't even know if we had newspapers on Sundays back then, when I was that small.
Oh, there we go. Since at least the 1800s.
State. Let's glue those little armies together. There's Beortwina, who is currently my mate.
I've got no idea what the context of David's comment was.
What was the comment?
I haven't noticed if there was anyone on our...
David said, I imagine Paris in August smells even more of weed.
I think
Yep.
he has that opinion of Paris in general.
Well,
Okay.
yes, I thoroughly endorse this.
But I have no
this-
idea what the context of why Paris in August might smell even more
I
of
think
weed.
because Verity was in Paris, Verity's army was in
It's in
Paris in August.
August.
I mean, it may smell less like that in 12,
Ah,
6.
right.
Yeah, that's
David
only
said-
because it might smell of shit instead.
But I
because it-
suppose the reason why it might smell of wee in August,
Good.
which was they spent the previous month going around saying jouier, the future tense of jouis.
Thank you.
Thank
yes.
you, Garrett.
I thought it was still showing that I once knew some French.
Yes, I'm willing
Kind
to
of.
accept that.
Not only that it's jouier and jouier, but also how you form a future tense of certain things.
Except it would be ouiré, but still,
Why is that?
because you usually add something to the infinitive.
Yeah.
Future.
Well, up to a point. And it depends whether it's a regular or an irregular verb.
For a reasonably regular verb.
Yeah. I mean, there are 14 French tenses, but you can get by with like about 3.5 of them. Maybe 4 if you insist on using the subjunctive. But basically, most French people don't use the subjunctive now. You know, I remember being held up as an example when I was about 18 with, old French guy saying to his daughters who were slightly younger than me, "Look, even foreigner is using subjunctive. You useless lot."
Foreigner was beaten into using something. I don't know what it was meaning or why it was true.
Well, understood using the subjunctive.
I don't know.
No, I actually done, I did quite a lot of grammar. No, I do languages. Let's improve our economy. We could probably do with an improved economy. Speaking of which, have we got any good advances? Ha ha ha, lol, no. We should probably get our military guy onto technology spread as soon as we can drag. Ooh, good, we captured someone. Now let's besiege Lude. Lude CK2. Ooh. Okay. Right.
Why is that?
We just imprisoned
Oh, right.
someone. Right, let us enforce our demands. We won. Right. You. Revoke title. Right.
So your regent is not quite convinced that it's a good plan.
Yes.
Sadly.
Oh
On
well.
the other hand, you do appear to have a usurpation option as well. As turned up at the top there. Okay, that's only duchies.
Yeah.
Will probably vanish shortly. So yes, I think you can't currently revoke his kingdom.
Yes.
You can, of course, when you grow up, and you may be able to persuade your regent to
Do so in a bit, yes. Let's let some time pass so that we can discover that Kent is not fine. Let's move you out of Kent.
I think
Kent is hostile.
I think it may not be anymore. Various things just vanished from it. I think you might find out now.
It's full of pissed off lorry drivers.
They haven't invented lorries yet.
Pissed off cart drivers.
Pissed off carters heading to the ports. Yes.
Yes. Only there's this bloody great army in the way. Right, so how are we doing? We've made it to the age of 5. We've acquired the name of Brock the Hammer.
Good.
I get minus several million to my national revolt risk for a bit. So what am I? You are training troops. Let's get you to research military technology because currently we don't have any. Let's inspect factions. Right, we are trying to squash the independence faction. So
what titles do you hold? It looks like you might have some slightly odd ones.
So I've got the Empire of England, County of Middlesex, Barony of Spalding and Barony of Middlesbrough.
Right, yeah, so
what we should do is let's embark on the vassal cheering up program called the Send Alcohol Gift and Send Minor Title Gift.
I think you need to cheer your regent up.
I think I need to cheer my regent up. Who is my regent?
Yes, you have a mildly negative opinion of you.
Right, let's award her an honorary title. Keeper of Swans. She's quite happy with that. Can't send her booze.
Right, so that does indicate that even if you have 2 sources of alcohol, you can only send 1 barrel a year.
Yeah.
Because it's a feature of you, not of your... Rather bizarrely, that probably means if you die, your heir can send another one. Because it's a flag attached to you, not a flag attached to the location.
Yes.
Anyway.
Right, let's see, can I award him an honorary title? Yes.
Yeah, so I think you can now award honorary titles, because you're... And it
may be worth checking if you can now revoke the Kingdom of England as well, because you're...
Yeah.
So that's, she's now +4, but then she also quite likes Beowulf, and she has a really strong base reluctance.
Yeah.
So yes, I think you're probably not going to be able to revoke that until you come of age.
Yeah. Or something happens to my regent.
Yeah, but I think you need a very nice regent.
I probably would need a very nice regent. So let's see, is there anyone I can sell out of my dungeon for cash?
There's a lot of people in there because you've got like a fairly large proportion of the pagan population of Eastern
Yes.
Europe.
And unfortunately, I don't think my right. So can we do some peaceful things like holding summer fairs and feasts? Well, let's see if yes we can. Right, let's improve Doge Fingal. What can we do? Hold a summer fair. Let's hold summer fair. Yay, summer fair.
Oh.
Presumably my free... I don't know, did she die? Because normally that would show up in the thing. Unless that was a usurpation.
She wasn't anyone very interesting.
It's true. My Mysticos may just have, like, you know...
I don't think this is going to help because I think he actually dislikes you. Well, actually, you can check whether the minor title you gave to your previous... No.
No.
So she hasn't died, she's just left your court for some reason.
Yes.
Or something. Hang on. I don't know.
Right, why don't you like me? Foreigner and envious.
Yeah.
Can we give you a cash gift to cheer you up?
You can, but I don't know if it will help. Cheap.
It's quite cheap. I think, you know... The problem is, he's my Mysticos, right?
Yes, you want him to be cheerful.
I want him to be cheerful because otherwise he's going to be stabbing me in the back.
You're quite small and very easily stabbed in the back.
So, right, those should be created by my thing.
It may be that they can't be because of geographical reasons.
Possibly. Well, let's... What I will do is find the Exarch of Aquitaine and give him Duchy of Aquitaine because I'm sure he'll want it. Right, that Gale was somewhere over here, wasn't it? So there we are, that's good. Woohoo, we are in credit again. Oh damn it, somewhere there's some stuff raised. 4,000 troops. Has anyone seen 4,000 troops recently? Yeah. Okay, I might stop soon. So that I'll just dismiss my realm levies.
Dismiss your
My realm levies. Since I couldn't work out where they were. Right. Factions. So we still have independence, but it's getting a bit feebler. I have 44,000 troops. and a sister who is much better than I am.
She's older.
She's older, but you know, like she's 7 and I'm 5. I mean, she is now starting to get the benefit of you know, being tutored and so on. But
You're
Well,
5 currently.
yeah,
But you're running this whole thing yourself.
well, I'm not. My
most will
regent
be
is.
done by, I mean, Brock can have opinions, but the regent does most of the hard work.
Ooh, we finished constructing stage 1 of the Tunisian harbour. Is there anything really good that we can build? Probably not. So that's local tax modifier. Lots of things that may modify local tax, but I don't control it directly. Right. Eep. That's getting very expensive, so maybe not. Let's do that so I can maybe remove stressedness.
I think we've already got a tavern.
Oh, maybe. Do I want to call the Tunis harbour something else? Oh, hang on. Right. Sudden arboreal stop. Right, jolly good. There we go. That's very important. We're nearly finished building Grand Amphitheatre. I can't even remember where I built the Grand Amphitheatre now. I think it was somewhere in Italy. Is there anything good I can build on the Kona Dom? Let's build some hypercourse. Extra monthly prestige will not come amiss. French Holy War. Well, that's nice. Not really holidays. Right, so we should not build anything for a bit. That is taking me below the amount I feel comfortable having as a buffer. So, how are my troops doing? 45,000. I just want to compare this against other local empires so that I know that I'm not likely to be invaded. Oh, okay, and I'm still massively outdoing the Holy Roman Empire and indeed the Byzantine Empire. Right. That's because I do have 18 vassal kingdoms.
You can check your vassals all right.
That's true, although there's not a lot I can do about that at the moment except possibly transfer some vassals about. Seriously, he hates me. That's fine, we want to take his kingdom away from it anyway. He is currently quite happy. Despot of France. Well, that's okay. Despot of Scotland. I've still got some time of him liking my predecessor to generally a bit miserable. Currently quite happy.
You've got 3 historical murals.
Yeah. Well. She's currently okay-ish. He's okay-ish. Meh, but nothing obvious. Nothing obvious. Look, you should be very happy. I went and kicked out people who were trying to take over your kingdom. Currently relatively chirpy. Irish revolt, but that's not going to be cheered up in a hurry because I can't really do anything about that. Lithuanian revolt is okay. Despot of Ireland wants control of the Duchy of Leinster. Transfer vassal.
Yeah, it's the Leinster.
Right, that will probably. Oh look, that is a cheered up thingy. Despot of Brittany. Oh, is a rival. He's also about 900 years old, so you know maybe that will expire. Madahosen revolt is okay. Lithuania is still very chirpy. That's because I've just given the duchy. Armenia is still kind of pissed off. Opland is doing fine. Even though I don't have the boost of having pressed his claim recently, because that was my dad. Mesopotamia a bit miserable. Leinster. Oh, didn't we just transfer you?
Yes, I think so.
Cumbria a bit miserable, but we're cheering you up.
It's still positive, which is quick.
Yeah. Transurania, Lichendos, a bit miserable. Strimon, and then
of course, anyone who's reasonably, you might be able to get people with religious differences to convert, but I think your limit, that was it 37 or 27?
I think it's 37, and I think also that I can't do it while I'm a child,
Right, yes.
because I think that's one of those symmetrical things. Right, Swabia. Why do you think Swabia is going somewhere?
So the heir is currently part of the Holy Roman Empire? Yes.
Yes.
Hang on, but Swabia is a kingdom, and the heir is currently a duke, so I don't think that's actually...
Yeah.
Hang on, no, the heir isn't.
No, hang on. It's just...
Was that Lusitania you were actually
That was
investigating when you
Lusitania.
were saying Swabia?
Yes.
No. So the heir to Lusitania is a child who is also heir to a bunch of duchies and kingdoms, so I don't think that's actually a problem.
Yeah, that's not actually a problem. Ah! Hang on, it's changed again, so it's Swabia. So he's Despot of Swabia. He is
Heir
it's
to
the kingdom of Swabia,
and
but
the County
in...
of Chur, which shouldn't be a problem
Yeah.
either.
Duke of Wessex. His heir should not be a problem. I don't really care about barons as such. High Chief Narvik of Polotsk.
It's not worth.
So he's a count in...
No, he's not. Oh, is he? No.
No, he's just in a different realm, but I think that means that when he inherits my stuff he'll come over. And those are counties, so I don't care. Franconian War for Gonzales' claim on Köln. Okay. Okay, well that lasted a long time. I wonder what ambitions I'll be able to pick when I'm 16. Well, because I can't pick the one to become renowned amongst all stoats, because I already am, being as I am Brock the Hammer of England,
Yes.
with 2,000 prestige by the age of, like, not even 6 yet. Ooh, we can hold a feast. Let's hold a feast. It's slightly expensive. And I'm already over the piety threshold for being able to do something excitingly pious. We do have a nice contiguous territory up here now. Right, let's get some nice tumbling acrobats for my feast. On the plus side, while I wait for my majority to happen, you know, I am you know, spending some time getting to know my kingdom, letting my threat go down, so maybe people might leave the defensive pact against me, you never know. Okay, that's only 2. I can't stand you and don't want to be in your castles, which is quite good. Still don't have all of Ireland. Prince Tudor, that sounds like a Welsh name, not an Irish name. It would be nice to get Norway. Ooh, I need a guardian. I've made it to an age where I need a guardian. Right, so let's assign a guardian. I don't really want my court chaplain, he's a mastermind theologian.
Don't be afraid to invite a new person if you can't find. So you need. I don't know if you need this one to be Greek. You needed your heir's guardian to be Greek. So you may now want to inspect the state of your vassals and check that they don't object to your being educated by a foreigner. Doesn't look like it. No.
Doesn't look like it.
I don't think this is. She wasn't likely to change your.
Yes. And she's got stonking stats.
Huge stats of land.
No, huge stats of brain.
So she's unlikely. So she is unlikely to turn you German.
Yes. Good night.
I'll see you on Christmas Day. Yes.
I'll see you on Christmas Day.
Are you planning to go in a particular time or just usual?
Usual kind of time.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm not up by about 10, you should probably come and, you know, like, kick me awake, because I need to do some stuff before, and this is important. I spend my time on the phone to my relatives.
Good night, stream.
Good night, Stoat. Let's not hold a feast, we just held a feast 5 minutes ago. Right. So... I wonder if I'll get any martial skill.
Well, the Princess Ida hasn't.
Tolerable.
Yeah, I think you'll get some.
I'll get some backstabbing and a little bit of... She's pretty good, really. Yeah, this is the problem in not having Cathars or full gender equality.
Being Basque gets you, I think, something similar.
Yeah.
Curiously.
Clearly I'll have to play as someone Basque and try and maintain the Basque culture. Yes, I think this is probably a good time to save and stop and say, indeed, it's 29th of January 1261. Brock the Hammer is struggling desperately towards adulthood. Good night.